This is not a battle report from Maustria. This is just a battle that was fought recently by myself and by some other players from around the world. It's the Battle of Alma, part of our normal reporting on this channel. If you'd like to skip over it, you're very welcome to do so. So we have 5 Russian commanders and 4 Allied commanders fighting a scenario based on the Battle of the Alma. The French, British and Turks outnumber the Russians 3-2 and have superior quality troops. The Russians have the advantage of terrain and being stubborn in defence. The game started at 7:15 PM Australian Eastern Standard Time on Sunday night, with players in Australia, India, Europe and an early bird Canadian. The players had determined strategy and deployments in advance unknown to each other. The Russians opted to have strong flanks and a thinner centre. The Allies decided to spread across the whole line of the river, engage both flanks to draw away reserves, and then assault in the centre. The French are on the left in this picture. They have massed their artillery into a grand battery in the centre, since the guns cannot cross the river except at the bridges or fords and on the roads. The British elites are in the centre and to the right. Both sides declined to use the far western river crossing. At 12:20, our report says the French on the left have begun to advance and cross the river. The central divisions move forwards. Their guns on both sides open fire. The British on the right start to move forwards and toward the river. At 12:40, the French left attack the Russians, who open fire with volleys. The Russian fire is effective and 2 French battalions break and fall back. Other battalions become pinned or disrupted by fire. On the right, the British have started climbing the ridge line, while Russian cavalry moves to the flank to scout what is happening. In the centre, the British have brought forward another division, ready for a glorious charge, while the Russian commander crosses the defile to bring some reserves to his position. At 1300, the French attack on the left, bringing up their second line of reserves. In the centre, the British and Turks move forward, while the French infantry prepare to wade across the river. On the right, British 4th and 5th Divisions climb the embankment, preparing to attack the defences at the top, and the Russian cavalry scouts move further along the ridgeline. At 1320, the French attack on the left has stalled, with all battalions engaged, pinned, disrupted, or fleeing. The commanders move to rally their troops. Both sides will continue to exchange volleys, but there is nothing more doing on the left. On the right, British 5th Division is heavily engaged by stubborn Russian infantry, while 4th Division launches a bayonet charge up the hill, only to be driven back by volleys, grape shot, and desperate melee. Lucan and the still-to-be-famous Light Brigade move up the ridge to pursue the retreating Cossacks. At 1340, on the left, the French and 16th Division remain engaged. In the centre, the French 3rd and 4th Divisions cross the Alma, while the Turks launch a charge up the defile. Fired on by 3 sides, they quickly break and fall back. The British 1st and Light Divisions attack up the ridge, but the Russians are waiting and shower them with shell and ball. The attack wavers and halts, with the lead units in disorder. On the right, British 4th Division is heavily engaged and exchanging fire with the Russians, but taking heavy casualties, and 5th Division is starting to pull back. They've lost a quarter of their strength, and the Cossacks are closing in. Lucan and the Light Brigade countercharge advancing Russian cavalry under General Raitsov. 1400. On the left, the French are stalled and exchanging casualties with the Russians. On the right, British 5th Division is in trouble, breaking from Russian cavalry charges that ought not succeed and being flanked. Lucan and the Light Brigade are broken by Cossacks and chased back across the river. In the centre, more guards are pushed forward and stopped by fire. One makes it to the top of the ridge and breaks their opponent, but it is too little. Other British units in the centre start to panic as famous regiments break and fall back in disorder. The British 2nd Division make their way through the swamp and find themselves face to face with Russian artillery parked hub to hub staring down at them. A French charge in the centre is repulsed by Russian militia, and with that all heart goes out of the Allied army and they begin to retreat. The battle concluded after 2 hours of game time and 2.5 hours of real time. The players were all reported having fun, and several suggestions were made to improve the system and gameplay. We're planning to run the scenario again at a similar time in a few weeks. If you've enjoyed this report, please like and subscribe, and maybe you'd be interested in playing a game with us one day, in which case ask to join our Discord, join our community, get involved. This battle report was brought to you by Prince Menshikoff's Imperial Russian Caramel. That's nice.